What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz. Today I'm showing you guys how to make a Lil Yachty type beat. If you do end up enjoying this video, make sure you do hit that sub button and turn post notifications on because it does help it a lot. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the BPM is 150, okay? And that's what we're gonna be using. We're gonna be pretty much using a lot of the things that are similar to the song, okay? So we're gonna be using the key and the bass line. Now I do have a kit with these drum sounds for you and some other things that you can download if you want to. Of course, it's free. So for the key, we're going to be using G minor. Okay, that is the key, or I think it is. Okay, so G minor, BPM 150, and we're going to go in here and I'll just show these because we're going to layer these. This is very important to layer these bass sounds so you can have a very like full sound. So if you have Serum or any other plugin, I would advise you to load up at least 2 to kind of get a nice wide bass sound. So I'm gonna give you the bass line. So pretty much if we start on C and we make a 7th chord all the way up, you'll kind of have the notes that you need for this. Okay, so and then you can just spread them out and just listen to kind of what these sound like. I believe it's something like this. I'll put the metronome on so we can time it. Okay, that sounds very similar. So we're gonna put this one down. Actually, let's layer these and then we're gonna try probably this one. All right, so now we have a very full and loud bass sound, and what this is gonna do is help us mask a lot of the range we need or we're missing so that we can make an easier melody. Now you could use like the chords type of sound to fill that in, but I don't really like that because it's kind of, it just gets super messy. But you could do what you want from this point on. This is kind of all you really need, and then now you just kind of make it unique. So we're gonna go ahead and make a little melody. All right, so now we're gonna go in and make our melody. So this can be difficult or it could be easy. It's up to you. Okay, now I want it to be easy. I don't want to work as hard. Of course, if you want to curate a melody that's like perfect the way you want it to, that's fine. But for me with this, I would say when you make a sound or you pick a sound, make sure you have some delay or some reverb if you want it to melt into the background. Okay, if you want it to like melt nicely with your bass. Okay, and that way with the delays, it'll create a lot of like other frequencies and stuff where you don't have to necessarily put a lot of effort into the melody. So let's do that same thing where we start on C. Even though we're in G, we're gonna start on the same bass note. So maybe flam this and then kind of use these notes that are right next to each other, right? And these notes will give you kind of a dark sound. Now with the way we're making this, right, it can sound very like upbeat very easily, or I will say melodic. So you got to be a little bit careful. And I like melodic stuff anyway, but you know, if you're not going for something melodic, you got to be a little careful where you play some of these notes. You can see the delay is filling in this gap. So honestly, we could just copy this over and just throw that in, whatever. Right, simple as that. So we can leave it at this, and now we can just throw in our last little sound here, which can be a key or a lead. All right, so here's our next sound. And honestly, if you wanted to, you could quit here, but I do want to just add a little bit more. Okay, so this is the sound, very atmospheric sound. So what I'm gonna do is take this note and we're just gonna start there because we know the note works. So we can, since we started here on this second beat within our bar, we can just pretty much copy that placement over and then just make a melody from here. You could use some tricks if you want. Start to use a chord like so. gonna take this and just copy this like pattern, but just on this part. It doesn't have to be the best. I'm gonna try to keep it dark because it's sounding very melodic right now, which I don't mind, but you know. Okay, I'm okay with that. I probably would tweak it a little bit more if this wasn't a tutorial, just to really get it to sound less melodic, but I like it. So I think this is the melody. It's fine. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add in the 808 and the drums. Okay, so now we're gonna just throw in our 808 and we can just copy our bass. Now I have 2 808s because I liked both of them when picking the sounds. So I would probably play them both somewhere like when I structure the beat. Let's pull this up, probably a C5, Shift D. Then we just add in some 808s on those placements. Okay, and probably one right here. We'll just copy it down. Now we'll do this later, but when you do the effects, you'll probably have to EQ out some of the bass so that all this can play together. But I'll just play them both. And then this one is a little bit more punchy. Okay, so that is the bass, and now we can finish it off by doing the drums. All right, so we're gonna start our drums. Before we do that, since we were on the topic before, what I did is just put all these into a bus, okay, all these, the melody sounds, and put an EQ on it, okay, so that we can have our basses still playing and then have our 808s, right, so that we still have our full melody. But if you don't want to do that, you can also add like chord sounds in there so that you don't have to worry about the low end clashing. But it's up to you, and that's your decision. Then on the master, we just have our threshold at 12.4 for our like, so it doesn't clip, etc. Okay, so that's just what we're going to be using real quick. So let's get to these drums. So I'm just going to throw our claps in there real quick. And then we're going to give our hi-hats a little pattern. Okay. And then we can just copy this all the way over, and then you can just make like variations throughout. So let's chop this down. Okay, I like that. Very simple. Let's move on, and I'm just keep it going. So I'm gonna add in the snare. And we just edit this. Make it pop. Okay. So let's see, what else can we add in? And then the drums for this, you know, it's very simple stuff. You know, you can kind of make your own. Okay. And then I want to add one of these in there. I kind of want to do like some rolls too. Let's see. Let's do a one, maybe 1/3. Okay, I'm hearing one right here. Let's get in there and see the notes. Let's do 1/6 right here. It's like off. Okay. That'll work. Okay, I think that's good enough. It's probably even doing too much, to be honest. All right, I like that. This is fine. So now we can play the beat, and I want to push this back a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm gonna play with this one. Also play it with, well, we could just turn it off. All right, and that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.